Hi guys, my name's Nabila Mushtaq. I work for the Mid Yorkshire Trust Surgical Assessment Unit Clinical Support Team. Before we go any further, I would just like to give a little introduction about myself. I am Pakistani and I am a Muslim. Now, I had an arranged marriage at 18. I had my son at 19 and at mid-20s I was divorced. And my son is now 21. He's in his third year of university doing computer forensics and security. And anyway, after my divorce, I thought that's it, my life's ended. I didn't know where to start because I was a young mum and I was a single mum, and I thought, well, that's it, my life's ended before it's even started. And then one morning I got up and I says to myself, right, Nabs, they call me Nabs for short. I says, right, Nabs, you need to get up and make a life for yourself and for your son. So I started doing voluntary work in a junior school. In the same school, I then got offered a lunchtime supervisor post, and that was my first paid job ever. And then obviously I got a bit of confidence and that, and then I started applying for jobs. And then the only thing I had, like I said, it was just my GCSEs. That's all I had, on my plate. So because I did a bit of voluntary work, it gave me a bit of that confidence to move on further. And then obviously when I got into nursing homes and then I applied for jobs in, like, I've worked in residential homes, I've worked in a high school, I've worked with young disabled adults. And then obviously in that time I completed my MVQ 2 and 3. And then I thought, right, okay, I want just a bit better for myself now. So, which we all do. We all want best for ourselves and for our children and for family, don't we? So then I applied for NHS and I came as a healthcare assistant on respiratory ward. And then from there, my first manager on there was called Joanne. I can't remember her surname, but she was there for, I think, maybe a good few weeks, and then she left. But she took me on as a healthcare assistant. I just wish I could remember her surname, but I can't. And then after that, a manager took over, and he was called Mark Wilkinson. And I can't thank Mark Wilkinson enough, because of him, I am where I am today, in the post I am in today. And I just can't thank him enough for all the support he gave me. And anyway, then I completed all my mandatory training. We had, in them days, we had a course to do that was called Care Certificate. Now, I think nowadays, they're completing the Care Certificate in 2 weeks, and it's made a lot easier. And my file was like that, like really big file I had to do. So I completed that. It was a 6-month course when this course came out, and a lot of people were taking a whole year to complete it. Anyway, I completed it in 8.5 weeks. And one day my manager called me into office and he said, right, Nabila, you've completed that. You've completed all your mandatory. What would you like to do now? So I says to Mark, I says, well, Mark, I'd like to do ECG training just to, like, sort of help on the ward, because you see doctors and nurses running around all the time. And I says, it'd be nice if I could just sort of help out. Little things like, just doing an ECG, simple thing. And he went, right, I don't want you just to do that. What else do you want to do? So I thought, right, okay, what else can I do? I says, right, and also I'd like to do bloods, venipuncture. He said, okay. So he goes, because you want to do that, you might as well do your cannulation training. Which he offered that. I didn't ask for that. And he offered that. And he says, you won't get paid for it, Nabila, but in future, you might want to develop further with your career. So I says, okay, that's fair enough, because life is not all about money to me. Yes, we need money to put bread on our table, to put a roof on our head, but it was an extra skill that benefited me in long term. And that's what Mark said to me. And that sort of sat in my head thinking, right, stop. Stop. You don't need to think about money. It's an extra skill for you. Number one, you're helping on the ward when you need it, and then you can help them out, because end of the day, that's what the job's about. That's what the hospital job's about, helping out, caring for people, and help out wherever you can, basically. So didn't think anything of it. We left it to that. Did my training. Then after that, obviously, I was put on the internet. I was put in the press paper because of completing the Care Certificate in 8.5 weeks. My assessor for that was very proud of me. She's called, and she's called, what's she called? Anita Mason, I think she's called, from Organisational Development. She'll still remember me, no doubt. And then after that, I was just proud of myself as well, and I think the ward manager was proud. And I even got the email off, who did I get an email off? Oh God, from the first manager that employed me, Joanne, that I can't remember the surname of. And I think she's still in respiratory. I think she's still a sister or a manager or something somewhere in Pinderfield. She even got in touch to say, I'm so proud of you, Nabila. I've read your story in the press and I've read it on the Mid-Yorkshire intranet. So that sort of gave me a boost to say, right, okay, I want to move further now. So then a job came up in phlebotomy team. So I went into phlebotomy team, and after phlebotomy team, I then applied for clinical support. I got a job there, and I was employed for surgical assessment unit. So that's where I am now. Very content in my life, very happy. And, you know, if it wasn't for Mark Wilkinson, honestly, I don't think I would have been here today. In that time, thank you to Mid-Yorks for supporting me. And there's people like Mark Wilkinson who are fantastic and who I can't thank enough. If it wasn't for you, Mark, I don't know what I would have done. To be honest with you, I probably still would have stayed down below where I was. But thank you for boosting that confidence. Thank you for having faith in me. And, you know, for that reason, I've moved up. And in that time, I've actually bought a house for myself. Being a single mum was really, really hard for me. In that time, I have actually bought a little bungalow for myself. And getting a bit emotional now, but yeah. I just don't know how to thank him enough. I just, you know, and a lot of people out there think, oh, you know, coming from a black and ethnic minority background, you've no support out there. Yes, you have. Just keep thinking positive. And there's lovely people out there in the trust like Mark Wilkinson. There's a lot more people that I could name as well. I wish I could have the whole list in front of me and tell you all the names. I've had an amazing experience in these last few years. At the moment, I'm settled, I'm content in my life. I've got a lovely bunch that I work with on surgical assessment. And I just can't thank enough. But please, please don't ever think, coming from a black and ethnic minority background, that, you know, you're thought of any lower or you're thought of any different. No, you're not. It's how you sell yourself and how you want to sort of like improve for yourself. And it's sort of proving yourself to others as well, because if you can prove to others that you're willing to do something and you're willing to move up, the support is out there and they will support you. So don't ever think and let yourself down. But if Mark is watching this, or if anybody ever crosses him, or if anybody knows where he is, he's called Mark Wilkinson. And I would just like to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for all that support. I am struggling at the moment a bit. I'm severely asthmatic and I've had COVID as well, so I do apologise. And I think that sort of got me as well, and it's a bit emotional. You know, everything's just mentally and emotionally drained me. But yeah, I'm happy, I'm content, and thank you so much for all the support that I've got from the trust. And like I said, please, please, please don't ever think there's no support out there. There is. Just sell yourself, and I always say let God do the rest of it. I've got a lot of faith in God, so yeah, let God sit there and do the rest of his the good things for you and direct you in the good way. And stay safe and stay blessed, everybody. Thank you.